Hi, my name is Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with the self-proclaimed movie man and music maker, Ari Selinger. For more on Ari, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at Ari's incredible talent.
See the girl with the silver streaks in her eyes, standing there under the chandelier. I know it's getting late for that, I'm sorry. The stars are out and the sky is clear. We went walking down by the riverboat.
Well, hello, Ari. How are you?
I'm doing good, Will. Good to see you.
Good to see you and really nice to meet you. And I'm really excited that the audience got a little sneak peek of your amazing talent, you singing an original song at the bitter end. Now, Ari, you are a self-proclaimed movie man and music maker. You somehow not only are able to have these two separate lanes, but you have this beautiful way of fusing them together. Can you explain a little bit about how these two mediums and how you're able to, within that genius mind of yours, combine them?
Well, I guess I really see myself as a storyteller first, and I love making movies. That's really my bread and butter. That's what I do. That's what I do for a living. And music for me was just a way to tell stories in a different way. I always really loved the band. I've always been writing my own music, but up until I think around I graduated college, I assumed I had stage fright. So I just sort of kept them to myself. I recorded them, and I recorded some music in my bedroom. And the last album that I released at the beginning of 2020, it was actually a musical I was writing. The songs were for a musical, a screenplay I wrote about a guy on the run. And I had written these songs for it, and I kind of got carried away and figured if I could sing them myself, it would really bring them to life. So for the name of the album is Music for Moontown. It's my little imaginary world that also.
Ari, do you have a director yet for this musical?
That would be myself.
Will, the job is taken.
Yeah, no. I need a co-director.
I have always found that the rhythm of music is very helpful within storytelling and finding the rhythm and beats of a story. Yeah. Do you find a similar comparison?
You can't. I mean, I honestly, the trick of it is when I'm writing a screenplay, if I don't have music playing, I find it very hard. It's like fuel. And my favorite thing about writing a movie is it usually ends up being somewhat like the music I'm listening to at the time when I write it. So for instance, I'm writing something now and I'm listening to a lot of Frank Zappa, and I'm feeling like, this is going to feel like a Zappa movie. So
I love it. So
yeah.
It's kind of like the music that you listen to, it helps inform and almost filters through you as an artist in doing your thing though.
Yeah. It's cool when you can do it both ways too, like when you can, sometimes the movie can be better made through a song than an actual movie.
That's right.
But you can call it a cinematic song, like this one song that I have, On the Open Ocean. It's really just kind of a made up story about a guy who's gets stranded on the ocean, like in The Perfect Storm. At the end of Perfect Storm, and Mark Wahlberg is just kind of like floating in the ocean. So I just like started with that image. I was like, that's so scary to me, being stuck in the ocean. So I wrote this song about it, and then it kind of led to this guy stealing a buried treasure. And, I was like, I couldn't tell that story in a movie. It really only works in this song. And if you can get a good rhythm going to it, get a good piano player.
I love it, Ari. Well, listen, I think my favorite songs are the ones that are 5-act plays that kind of allow the audience to, like any great Monet painting, to be able to kind of eavesdrop in on a smorgasbord of color and texture, and allowing the audience to put the pieces together that maybe isn't so tightly wrapped in a nice bow that a film would do. And I love that you traverse so seamlessly between your music and your lyrics and your filmmaking. And I'm curious, when did you realize that you had this talent to create interesting stories?
I have to say, I didn't think I could write a good song until I was 25. I remember trying really, really hard and being like, you got to leave this up to Dylan or my favorite songwriter is Robbie Robertson in the band. And I just was always, I always just thought the way he has this one song, Acadian Driftwood. It's like an epic, it's an epic of the Acadians moving down to Louisiana. It's from the 19th century, and I'm sorry, actually 18th century, and it's a rock song, and to me that's so cool when you can just kind of, it's not about the person behind the music, it's really about the story up front and center, and the instruments and the singers are playing the parts, and that to me is really cool. That's why I like doing this. I think I realized I could do that eventually when I started writing this musical. That was when I realized I was better at it than I realized.
I love it. Well, I love that the way that you approach songs and the way that you approach musicians are almost like characters within a piece, and that they're one and the same. I definitely feel the same way when I'm directing a musical or a play or TV or film, because my background too is in music. There's something really beautiful about that. And I think about you coming on board a platform like FENIX, the first of its kind, that not only is going to connect you to new fans, across the country and around the world, but potentially new collaborators from all different backgrounds and languages. And as you know, probably as a storyteller yourself, the best stories out there, whether they be music, film, or whatnot, in whatever discipline and medium they are, great stories are transcendent and universal of all language. And what are you most excited about in terms of the prospect of collaborating with others potentially around the world?
Working with collaborators around the world, it sounds like a dream. When you get to connect through a song to somebody, you can connect to somebody in outer space, through that, and what somebody else brings to music, it's the same language, that's the only language. I mean, I'm not great at other languages, but I can play guitar.
I love that.
And when you find somebody else, I mean, I remember going to Egypt once, and just, I don't speak the language, but I had a guitar, and I was able to use that guitar to create friendships, and and no matter where you go, I mean, I just think collaborators, the Stone Soup folk tale?
No, tell me.
It's like, you walk into a town and you don't know anybody there, and you just have a stone, but you throw it into a pot and you start stirring it, and somebody else walks up to you and says, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Well, I'm making some soup. I'm making stone soup." And they say, "Well, what's that? I want a piece of that." And you say, "Well, you just give you give what you have, and we'll keep making it." And it just draws a big crowd, and it's all over this stone soup, but it has all these different ingredients. And that to me is what making music with different people is like. They see what you're doing, then they come in and toss in their flavor, and then you've got something that transcends yourself and music you can make.
Well, Ari, that's a beautiful image, and I'm so grateful for your time today. And I just think you're an incredible artist. And for everyone watching, please, below this video, you can learn more about Ari Selinger, all of his great work that he's doing. And Ari, again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Will. I appreciate it.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.